Okay. So, yeah, a very good afternoon to all of you, and welcome for this small, quick session on for India, by India, and of India aerospace certification, the India way. We wanted to coin some name which will tell the intention of this program, and the intention of this program was to just inform all of you that like we have different accreditations going for AS 9100, our Indian accreditation body NABCB is also launching its AS 9100 series certification program, and this is an update for all of you to know what is happening on that front, and to know that how to get aligned to our own accreditation body's certification for aerospace series standards. So I welcome you again, and let me take you through this quick presentation. So this is the current scenario of AS certification in India. So I am monitoring this figure since 2014, where there were 312 or 315 certificates listed in the OSS database. Now, since all of you are certified for AS 9100, you must be aware of the OSS platform, which is Online Aerospace Supplier Information System platform. This is a platform which is used by all AS certification stakeholders, auditors, the certification bodies, the organizations which are certified for AS 9100 series standard, and the accreditation bodies who are authorizing the certification body to conduct the AS 9100 audits. On this platform, since 2014, there has been a consistent rise in the number of certificates. Very consistent, I would say. It was at every year there was a rise of 20 to 25% in the terms of number of certificates getting registered in the OSS database. There was a slump in between when COVID hit, and maybe a year before that also, when there were some issues with the major aerospace OEMs. So 2019, 2020, and a little of 2021, this slump was seen. But nevertheless, last 1.5 years and 2 years, this has grown exponentially, and this certificate number has reached to 977 certificates. That means there are roughly around 1,000 companies who are certified for AS 9100 and listed in the OSS database. Definitely, when this number is 977 as of now, there are many companies who are undertaking the initial registration audits and will be getting certified. So I think by next couple of months, we will be crossing a mark of 1,000 certificates for AS 9100. Why I'm sharing all these things with you is that this is the rate at which the AS certification is growing, and definitely the when the certification is growing, the a clear indicator of the aerospace business can be derived from that. So the demand of AS 9100 certification is growing, which is directly equal to the amount of work which is getting generated in terms of aviation, space, and defense in India. There are a lot of drives which have come in India, like there is Make in India drive, which is driven by our honorable Prime Minister. After that, there were many different projects which have been recently started on the defense front, especially after the recent restlessness on the borders. So defense has been getting strengthened, and all the PSUs, the defense PSUs, have been aligned, or I would say a framework has been created where the defense PSUs, they themselves are getting AS 9100 certified, and they are also flowing down this requirement to their supply chain to get AS 9100 certified. So this drive has picked up in India, and there are many more companies which are either in process of getting certified or aspiring to become AS 9100. And definitely, all of you who are already certified for AS 9100, you would also be seeing that upsurge in the volume of the work or the orders which would have happened recently over a period of 2 years. So this is the state of increase in the aerospace business. and which is why we have to understand that how better we can align to this space and to this scenario. You all would have heard about NABCB, which is National Accreditation Board for Certification Bodies. This is the Indian accreditation body for various certification schemes. Definitely, it is there for ISO 9000, 14, 45, energy management, and many other schemes which are prevalent in the system certification, management system certification side. So NABCB has been instrumental in providing the accreditation to various certification bodies to conduct the audits on various standards. Looking to the overall upsurge of the aerospace business, and looking to the intention that the Indian accreditation bodies should also have a control and have a hand in the AS 9100 series certification. NABCB is launching, or it has launched, accreditation scheme for AQMS, that is Aerospace Quality Management System. This scheme has been launched, and initially a few meetings had happened, which from DQS side, I and the technical team, including Mr. Sarvana Palani, who is our accreditation head, we all attended that meeting. And in that meeting, the NABCB team, who is driving the AS 9100 series certification scheme, we found their aggression, and we found the way they are aligned to start this scheme in India. And once this scheme starts, I think we will be the people, or we will be the organizations who will be definitely benefited through it. So they have already begun the journey. So this interaction with all of you is a kind of, I would say, a curtain raiser. There is no details covered in this program. This is just a curtain raiser. I would say this is first of webinar in this series, where we are just opening a curtain to all of you regarding the NABCB's venture into AS 9100 series certification, and definitely would like to hearing from all of you that how would you like to align yourself to it. So let me take you to the current workflow for the AS certification process, which you would have experienced over a period of time. So currently, DQS is having accreditations for NAB, which is a US accreditation body, and DAX, which is a German accreditation body. So under these two accreditation schemes, the AS 9100 certification is been given to all of you. The process, I would just like to touch upon the process, how it is laid out uh, in uh, in aerospace certification. So this process is it initiates in India. So the audit planning, the communication with the customers, the communication regarding the auditors, regarding the mandates, regarding the offers, all this part is happening in DQS India. Once the audit is planned, the OS is set up, the OSS management at a local level is happening in India, and then the auditors are coming to your place. They are performing the audit, and, and the audit has been reported in the OSS database. So once this audit gets reported in the database, along with the OSS documentation and some non-OSS documentation, this entire audit package is then further transferred to the US or German team for a technical review. Now, US under NAB and Germany under DAX have their own accreditation norms and the rules for the audit files to be reviewed, and they will take the audit files for review one after the other. And there is an exchange of exchange of communication between the NAB, the DQS US team or Germany team regarding the closure of the technical points. So there are some technical queries which have been raised, and the lead auditor has to respond to them or explain to the technical reviewer the side of the auditor and about the organization. So there is a good amount of discussion which happens at this point of time. And once this technical review is closed, the audit file is then further given to IAQG for the final review and the certificate published. So IAQG has again the final review, where the overall audit content, the overall audit methodology is again cross-checked. And then once everything is found right, the certificate is published in the OSS database. This process happens for each and every audit which is getting conducted, and uh, the technical reviews, and then IAQG reviews and the certificate published. So even if it's a surveillance audit, in the terms of OSS, there is a certificate published which happens, though physically the certificate will not be renewed, or it will not be changed. In the OSS terms, when it says certificate published, that means the audit file is closed. Now, this entire cycle which is happening, there is a big there is a big time lag which is expected and happens when the audit is done and the audit is reviewed technically, because there is a lot of communication which happens between the auditor and the technical review team. So this is the current workflow of AS certification as of now. This is I would say the future workflow of AS certification process, with NABCB coming into the picture, where the entire audit planning, performance, and the audit technical review will be done at India level under the guidelines of NABCB, and under definitely there has a ruling of IAQG over it, but NABCB aligns itself to the IAQG requirement, and then monitors us or any other certification body which gets registered with NABCB for aerospace program. So under the guidelines of NABCB, the technical review also happens at the India level, and the file is then forwarded to IAQG for review and certification published. So this is one big change which is going to happen. Now, how does this change be going to impacting us? Uh, so these are some advantages which we feel can be directly coming to the organizations which are certified under the NABCB scheme for aerospace program. First is the program is directly controlled at India level. Now, what difference does it make if it is not controlled at India level? Is because the kind of response or the time lag which we have in maybe the audit, the response to the technical review, audit reviewing the file, the technicalities of the file, and entire thing will happen in India. So India will be the location where the entire package, or right from the pre-audit, audit, and post-audit activities are controlled through India offices, which will give us a clarity, transparency, and a real-time status. As of now, whenever the audit file moves out of the hands of the lead auditor and goes for a technical review, the visibility of that file diminishes a little bit. It's not that it is lost in a black hole, but it does diminish because we have to wait for the response which comes from the technical review. And this is relevant to I think all the CVs operating in India, where they have to rely upon the technical reviews which are happening outside India. So we get a clarity, transparency, and a real-time status of the audit file and the status of the audit. We will have a better control of the processes, because then we can align the processes accordingly. Right now, our alignment is based on how the file will be taken for the technical review and how the response would be. So if we want to speeden up the process, we definitely cannot influence the technical review process. So we have to just focus on reducing the times of some of the internal processes which are happening in India, which doesn't give us a complete holistic control of the entire process chain. So we are just managing few processes where we have to speeden up the things, but the technical review is going to take the time it is going to take, and we do not have the real control on that. But when everything is happening in India, then we can control the processes equally and focus on the processes which needs more attention and more focus. So the control of the processes would also be better. Understanding the Indian psyche, which is always a pain area for not only the organizations which are certified for AS 9100, but also for the auditors and the certification body, because the way we operate in India, uh, the psyche with which we operate in India is very difficult for the foreign countries to understand the backdrop of how we think, how we operate. because according to their way of working, if somebody is wanting to get an AS 9100 certification, it's a program of 6 months, 1 year. But when in India, when we talk about getting certified to AS 9100, we get a call saying that when we are going to do the audit, and once we are doing the audit, maybe during the closing meeting, there are questions like when we will be getting the certificate. So that is the kind of I would say responsiveness which Indian psyche is expecting. I'm not saying whether it's good or bad. What I'm trying to say is that if our processes of managing the audits, reviewing the audits, conducting the audits, and planning the audits are matching with the industry psyche, that is going to create a good resonance, and thus a good amicable structure can be seen in the future. So understanding Indian psyche is going to be a very big advantage when it comes to NABCB. Definitely, the kind of controls IAQG has under, there is a scheme called ICOP scheme, which is the industry controlled other party scheme, which definitely in the upcoming seminars or webinars, we will be covering all these things when NABCB is unfolding its program more and more. But IAQG has got fantastic controls, which NABCB also has to align to. And with that kind of an alignment, there is no way. When I say understanding the Indian psyche, please do not misunderstand me. That the audits will be relaxed or IAQG will be the reviews will be relaxed. It is not going to be like that. Definitely. Only thing is the kind of responsiveness we are expecting as Indian organizations, that is going to be changing drastically compared to what a foreign country would be expecting. When all these things are happening, definitely a faster certificate delivery turnaround time, which is definitely envisioned with whatever changes I have talked about right now. If we have all the processes lined up with us, the reviews are under our control, the certificate publishing is in our control, the certificate delivery tag is also going to be positively impacted and can be of a good control. Being a local accreditation, definitely it will also offer us a good cost effectiveness, because right now, whatever charges we are paying for the NAB or DAX, we have to collect it from you and then pass it on to NAB and DAX. Now, NABCB would have definitely a structure which is more Indian friendly and more understanding the Indian industry. So it will be having a cost effectiveness also. And the complex scenarios of certification like transfers and site extensions and scope extensions, so when we have such kind of complexities encountered in the AS certification as of now, there are so many so many protocols which have to be followed and which have to be lined up to. Once we have NABCB accreditation, I think we will get much more flexibility on handling such complex certification scenarios, and we will be able to be more responsive to your requirements of any of such type, and we can do that these kind of complex situations and handle them in a better way. So these are some direct advantages as an organization which you will get. There are some indirect advantages. One is so this definitely is seen on cards that when NABCB is going to be the accreditation body, the preference in the Indian defense organizations for the tenders or the business will be given to NABCB. That recognition will be happening. So if you are going through the NABCB route of AS certification, definitely the recognition in the Indian defense organization will go next level. Your organization will be a preferred supplier for the Indian defense organizations, because being an Indian defense organization, they will harp on having NABCB accreditation, a preferred accreditation over NAB or DAX or UCAS for that matter, right? And there is also a possibility of subsidies. This is something which is I am talking based on the experience on the other schemes which NABCB has offered to the Indian industries. Definitely, when it comes to aerospace, also these kind of possibilities are there. Definitely, there is no rollout of a very fixed plan on this, but yes, this could be also a possibility. We talked about the advantages to the organizations individually, direct and indirect. let us also see what it brings to the nation. Now, as in India as a nation, the accreditation income which we collect from all of you and give it to US or Germany will be remaining with us. So our money stays with us. We'll be creating national wealth through that accreditation. It reduces the dependency on the foreign countries and gives a kind of a feeling of self-reliance. So when we say, when I see right now in the OSS database, when I see the listing of the accreditation bodies, this has been I have been seeing this since quite some time, and always one question had popped up in my mind that why not India's name is appearing in that list, where we have Germany and US and UK, all the countries who have their own accreditation bodies registered in the OSS. Why India's name is not seen? But I think now that dream is kind of going to come true very soon, and we will see NABCB getting registered in the OSS database. So if that happens, we will have the India's presence marked globally, and we will have the feeling of self reliance and alignment of a national drive of Make in India. So this is going to be a kind of a domino effect where we are getting empowered from within to see that how we are getting aligned to this national drive of Make in India. So as far as the NABCB program is concerned, the NABCB also has to align itself to the IAQG and ICOP scheme requirements. And this is a very tentative timeline, which we have understood after talking to NABCB people, and this is how they are going to roll out the plan for AS certification. So the first step which NABCB would be doing is they will be having the program layout, which they have already done. So if you go on NABCB website, you can download the program layout which they have done. But this is more of the use to the certification bodies and not the certified organizations. So it is it is certification bodies like DQS who have to align themselves to this program. So they have rolled out the program already. All the requirements of ICOP scheme, IAQG have been incorporated, and the program is rolled out. The second step is listing in the OSS database as the accreditation body. That process is going on, and very soon, I think by end of April, that process should be completed. And in the OSS database, we can see NABCB as one of the listed accreditation bodies for AS 9100 series standards. Once NABCB gets listed in the OSS database, then they will start the process of registration and approval of these certification bodies like us. So once they are ready with the entire program, which partially has been done, and partially on the OSS side and ICOP scheme it is still going on. So once they are ready with the program, they will ask DQS and other certification bodies to get registered and approved under NABCB, and that process will begin. And finally, once the CBs are registered, they will start giving the AS 9100 certification, which I can see that by September 2020, that is the Q3 of calendar year 2023, should be the time when AS certification shall be delivered through NABCB. I think this is the broad layout which NABCB is going to follow. Similarly, in line with the NABCB's alignment to IAQG requirement, DQS is also getting aligned to this program, and DQS right now is going through the program layout of NABCB, and we are planning to get aligned with the program of NABCB. So first step would be our registration, DQS's registration to NABCB for AS 9100 certification scheme. Then we will be involved in developing our internal processes. Now, since all these processes which I discussed some time back, we have to align ourselves. We have to design our internal processes so that it can be streamlined and it can be offered to NABCB for audit, and they can come and audit us on these processes. So we are developing those internal processes, and then we will have NABCB accreditation, where the NABCB audits will be conducted. There will be a business case where NABCB would conduct an audit on us, and we will demonstrate the compliance to the NABCB program as well as IAQG and ICOP scheme requirements. So once that happens, DQS gets registered with NABCB for AS 9100 series program, and then DQS can audit organizations and give AS 9100 certification to the companies under NABCB. I think that is going to be something which is a dream very close to my heart, and gives a very great feeling to do that. And we hope that by the time NABCB by Q3 of the financial year 2023, by Q3, if NABCB is getting aligned to all these things, definitely by Q4, DQS will be getting aligned to these requirements and will be able to deliver the first AS 9100 certificate under NABCB. This is the aspiration my management has, and even I would be very happy to be part of this vision. So this is the overall alignment. So when NABCB is progressing towards getting aligned to IAQG ICOP scheme, we at DQS are also getting parallelly aligned to NABCB and in turn IAQG and ICOP scheme requirements. We want to hit it back once NABCB is ready. We'll be trying to be getting ready and start delivering AS 9100 certification. And this is what you have all been seeing into our audit presentations, that we are Germany's first certification body for management system. And when we are following this route, we also want to be the first certification body in India to have delivered AS 9100 certificate under NABCB, which is India's own accreditation body. Right. So this is what I wanted to share with all of you, and this is what I wanted to just raise a curtain on NABCB's alignment and DQS's alignment to this new venture and very honorable venture of getting self-reliant. So with this, I keep the forum open for question and answers. And after the question and answers, we have a quick poll, which I will then hand it over to Mahantesh to take over to just know the customer side on how would you want us to go ahead on this. So I'm open for any question and answers if you have.
Thank you, Rajan sir, for the wonderful session and new update on NABCB. So I'd request all, if you have any doubts or clarification, please write down in your chat box. We will address your questions. Or you want to talk directly to Mr. Rajan, the floor is open. You can mute yourself and ask your questions. Rajan sir, I got one question from Miss Megha Kapoor. Enough fees for running POs to be adjusted later? Hello, Rajan sir.
Hello.
Hello, Rajan sir. There are some questions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So the first question is, enough fees for running POs to be adjusted later, or NABCB has its own fee?
Yes. So see, when we are talking about a transition, suppose if there is an NAP certificate already, and then you have already signed up a 3 years contract with DQS, definitely the NAP fee is there. And now when we launch the NABCB scheme, and when we are talking about a transfer of the accreditation bodies, that program we are going to roll out, and then we will also see. I'll take this input. Definitely, we had kept this in mind, but I'll take this input where the NAP fee is already been paid, and in future also that has been committed. So how NABCB fee is going to impact that, and what is going to be the revised offer for the upcoming years. So you can be rest assured that we are working, and we are, as I told you, that we are aligning our internal processes. So this is where we will be putting all these things on
Yeah, Rajan, are you there?
On the table and discuss one after the other that how are we going to handle this? Because NAB has also not declared the structure to us as of now, which will be happening very soon. To that, I think we'll be able to throw more seminar development which has happened. But eventually, when over a period of time, NABCB starts unfolding more and more, DQS also starts unfolding more and more. We will have many such sessions under the same title of the AS certification under NABCB, and that time I will be able to answer you very accurately.
Okay. Thank you, sir. The second question is, what is the percentage of time savings to receive certificates in the new process compared to the current duration?
I would answer that rather than in number of days or number of months, it would be more of a good feeling. Uh, I cannot directly put away, but very honestly speaking, for any other railway or IATF programs, we are claiming to have a TAT of say 12 to 15 days after the closure of the NCRs. That is what we are claiming for railways and automotive program, because we have a good control over here in India processes. Maybe we would try to match to that. Maybe.
Yeah, but obviously it will be reduced, very much reduced with the current situation, current accreditation is what we have.
Definitely, definitely.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So the next question is, I hope existing certificates can be shifted to NABCB.
Yes, Mantesh. So we are working on the transfer process also. So because existing customers, when they wish to have this certificates transferred from the existing accreditation to NABCB, so there will be a transfer process. So which we are evolving it. Once that is being finalized and approved by NABCB, then we'll be rolling out and releasing it to all of our customers.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So the next question is, as we are certified and registered for 3 years contract, we will get the benefit in next contract or in current contract.
Yeah, I think Rajan has already answered this. So on the cost factors, we are working on this. So because now this is the first step, this webinar is the first step to understand the interest of our customers. So as a next step, we'll be working, because again, to add here, we are already, DQS India is already accredited for ISO 9000 and 13485. So this will be our third accreditation on our feather. So our internal process, we have started working on our internal processes. The costing aspects, the benefits will all be arrived at. And Rajan, as Rajan was explaining, so we will be having furthermore sessions. So we will be having a clear picture and clear answers for all these questions. Yeah, of course, there will be a benefit that we can assure.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So I would request all, if you have any questions and clarification, please write down in your chat box. I received one more question. Do we get a copy of this presentation for posterity?
So this is very initial phases, so this may not give any clear picture as for you. Maybe if you want more information, the information is available in NAVCB portal, like what criteria. But again, that will be for more for certification body, and whatever we have listed is again for the certification body. So as part of what is to be done by the client customer, or how it can benefit it for the customer. So again, we are also evaluating a brochure or flyer kind of thing. So in a few weeks time, which will be rolled out. So you can take it as a reference to show it to your management.
Okay, thank you, sir. So now I'm going to launch a poll question so
Yeah,
that we
sorry,
can hear.
Mohantesh. There was a
Okay.
Yes, Mantesh, I
Sorry
think
for,
we have some
yeah.
net
sorry,
connectivity
sorry. There was
issues.
a glitch. There was a technical glitch.
Yes.
Okay, okay,
Sorry
Raj.
for the technical glitch. So I'm launching a poll question. So we would like to hear uh, feedback from you guys. So, Rajan sir, I got one more question. Currently with ANAB accreditation, if we go with the NABCB, is there
Tell
any
me,
business
Manoj.
impact? Yeah. Currently with the ANAB accreditation, if we go with the NABCB, is there any business impact since current customer base is international?
Uh, Okay. No, so there should not be any business impact. I will tell you the reason why. Because NABCB is also going to follow the same IAQG and ICOP scheme, which other accreditation bodies are following, like NAB and DAX. So whosoever is doing an AS 9100 audit, they are all listed in the OSS database. As I told you, even the auditors are listed, certification bodies, accreditation bodies, and the companies. So if you have an AS 9100 certification from NABCB, still you will hold the same credentials as you are holding now with NAB accreditation. Yes, there is one possibility that if your customer is demanding that there has to be a specific accreditation followed, that could be a customer specific requirement which you will have to follow. But otherwise, if your customer has not demanded any such specific accreditation body, NABCB will be equally credential and equally competent enough to demonstrate your certification in OSS database.
Okay. So one more question, Rajan sir. Will
Yeah.
there be any hesitation from primes accepting certification through NABCB initially?
As I told you, see, like we hold our country very close to our heart, and we would love to have an NABCB accreditation. If there is a Boeing supply chain, they would love NAB accreditation to be more prevalent, right? So they would have that kind of a preference. But if it is not a mandated requirement from the customer, if your customer has not mandated it, definitely it is not going to have any impact on the certification. Because once you talk about AS 9100, see this, I will also give the overview of what is that ICOP scheme. This ICOP scheme is the industry controlled other party. This industry is nobody else but the aerospace OEMs and the first tier supply chain people. Now, now the OEMs like Boeing, Airbus, and Bombardier, and these people, they have come together to form an ICOP scheme, and IAQG was born out of that. Now, if NABCB is getting certified or getting registered under the ICOP scheme, definitely these are the people who are allowing NABCB to do the certification. So it's a it's a kind of a circular economy where even if you have an NABCB that has been approved by the IAQG, International Aerospace Quality Group, which comprises of the aerospace giants. So definitely, I don't think there will be any impact. But yes, as I told you, if there is a customer specific demand, you might have to talk with your customer, and you might have to go the customer specified route in that case. But otherwise, there won't be any business impact.
Okay, thank you, sir. So the last question I have, if
Yeah.
customer insists for ANAB, then DQS will accommodate or DQS will completely follow NABCB?
No, so that is I think that is one of the USPs of DQS, that right now we are accommodating NAB and DAX, and in future we will be accommodating NAB, DAX, and NABCB, all the three. So we will have a flexibility of whichever accreditation you would want to go for.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. So the poll question was, would you be interested in getting ES 9100 under NABCB accreditation? So most of around 53% have said yes, 47%
Oh, lovely.
are not sure on this.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Nice to hear that, and which boosts our internal processes and internal speed with which we will align to that thing. So I'm happy that most of you have voted for yes.
So that's it, sir. I think we are done with the session.
Okay. One more thing, just the concluding comments from my side is that, as I told you, that this is a kind of a curtain raiser, and as and when there are updates from NABCB as well as DQS, we will be very happy to have another session like this and share all these things with you. We want to keep it live, and we want to be part of your decisions in terms of what kind of accreditation body you would like to go for AS 9100 certification. So looking forward for more such interactions to come in the future. Thank you very much for your time and your attention, and hope to see you all soon through some audits or interactions in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining.
Yep, thank you all for your participation.
Thank you.